Together with you, Samantha, thanks very, very much. Let's bring in Ben McMillan right now. He's a storm chaser, also an EMT who's south of Oklahoma City right now. Where are you, Ben, right now?
Well, we've taken refuge at a hotel in Norman tonight. The interstate northbound from here was almost at a standstill due to stop traffic, most likely due to the flooding and possible debris that was in the roadway from the earlier tornadoes.
Did you get a sense to see what was going on in Moore? I asked the question because Moore, big chunks of it were destroyed on May 20th in the tornado then. I was there for a few days in the aftermath, and I wonder how badly Moore has done this time around.
I'm not sure, Wolf, but one problem you have with a lot of damaged areas that still haven't been fully cleaned up yet is you have a lot of loose debris. And today we had very high winds moving to those areas. Now, I don't know for sure whether or not actual tornadoes hit the more damaged path, but I can tell you with certainty that strong winds did impact that area, and I think that might have caused some issues with all that debris getting kicked up and flying around.
Yeah, they lost a lot of power over there as well. How close did you get to the storm on this day, Ben?
We were probably about a half-mile away from the tornadoes that first formed south of the El Reno airport. And they started off as small stovepipe, narrow tornadoes that quickly grew into a half-mile to a mile-wide tornado that moved east from our location. And just encountered a lot of homes that were damaged in that area. There were some cars flipped, propane tanks were leaking, and had to stop and aid in search and rescue and weren't able to track the storm any further at that point.
So you actually got out and helped some people who were in trouble?
Yeah, we were able to get into the areas where the houses were hit, but we didn't find anyone. They must have been taking shelter and taking appropriate measures to protect themselves.
Were the homes pretty much destroyed or badly damaged?
Some of them were leveled, but most of the really bad damage we saw was in garage areas, structures that weren't as sturdy. And the Weather Service will most likely in the morning complete some damage surveys to let us know how strong the winds were.
We're really not going to know the full extent of the damage until daylight, when crews can go out there and get a better sense of what's going on. In the middle of the night right now, with all the flooding, with all the debris, it's pretty dangerous just to even be moving around.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the folks are saying for sure here, but it sure feels like it's some sort of a state of emergency in the city. There's emergency personnel still running around everywhere. There's roads closed, and that's why we decided just to take shelter south of the city and not try to enter the areas that were impacted by the storm today.
Have you been a storm chaser for a long time?
Yep, I've been chasing for about 10 to 11 years now, and we actually tracked the EF5 that hit Moore last week. We're about a half mile behind it, so it's just really sad to see these folks that are already dealing with so much have to go through it yet again.
Is that pretty unusual, within 10 days, 12 days, or whatever, two tornadoes to hit the same area?
Yeah, it's very rare. I think the Moore area had 3 or 4 tornadoes hit it in the last 10 years, and then to have 2 of them hit in a couple of weeks' time is something I've never seen before.
Yeah, I've never seen that either, and my heart goes out to all those folks. They've been suffering so much. It was heartbreaking to see what was going on in Moore, and then now knowing what's going on, it even makes the situation so much worse, so much more painful. So where do you go from here? What's next for you, Ben?
Well, we track storms on a daily basis. We go wherever the storm risk is greatest. And tomorrow we're looking at areas down to Texas. The south central Texas area could have similar storms that Oklahoma experienced today.
Yeah, and one of the big problems today was somebody told people, get in your car and start driving, and that caused a huge traffic jam in the major interstates, in the major areas, and people are going to be investigating to see who gave that poor advice. Ben McMillan, thanks very much. Be careful and good work. Thank you.